Hi guys, what's up? So this video again, as I promised earlier, this video will again talk about the charts, and we are actually going to finish up this video as a sequence of my previous video which talked about the waterfall charts, right? So how exactly you can actually prepare the waterfall charts and why they are actually used, what is the concept behind that, what exactly is the workout which you're supposed to set up behind these charts. That's something I have already explained in a very detailed manner in my previous video, which is on the waterfall charts. And if you would like to watch this video, then I must encourage you, I must advise you to please go ahead and go to my playlist and watch this playlist charts and pivots, and there you'll see this video classic waterfall charts, right? It's a video number 76, though you can watch other videos as well, combination of charts, how you can combine the two charts, and the two different kind of a charts, video number 75, and you have all the charts over here. Amazing technique to create this chart. Don't forget to watch this video. This video is actually I have talked about the drop down technique, how you can actually combine all the charts in just one chart with the help of the drop down, right? Anyways, so we are going to start with this waterfall chart, and before I start, I just want to actually give you kind of a idea what exactly we are going to do this time around, right? So the point is, in my previous video which I have just shared with you, you can go there, go to my playlist and watch there. What exactly we did is we created waterfall charts, but that was all in a positive mode, right? So it means that that chart was more of a, like, if your business is growing, every year you are in a positive number, your revenue is, you're getting a good revenue, so you're not getting in a negative phase, right? But this time I will talk about that if you have the negative numbers in your chart, be it anything, be it a business loss or be it any trending, whether you want to show a profit or loss, and you have some negative values, how you're actually going to deal with that, right? So let me just quickly build this data for you. Let's say you have year. I'll try to keep both the data same as I shared with in the previous video, so that you can actually get a very good amount of idea. So let's say you have a year here 2001, and then let me just quickly add some numbers here. Okay, so let's put it till 2015, which is our current year, right? So maybe I'll just remove this 2015, and in 2001, before 2001, you started it with a number. Let's say I would say you have this sales done. So your sales was done, let's say it was, maybe the number was 500. You started with the 500 number, right? Now it could be anything, it could be a turnover, it could be a business and millions of your company, but I'm just assuming some number here just to explain you. So in 2001, when you started it, you really did very well, and your number, the sales number, it went up high, maybe 1000 million. And then in 2002, you got a gain of 700, and then you have some negative numbers here. You did not do well, your sale really went down drastically, and so you have here 500 again, and then you took a jump of, let's say, 250, and then 350, and then 600, and then 700, and then maybe a good jump. 2010 was the best year for you, let's say, and then the next year you did pretty well again, and then thereafter you really gone considerably down. So now let's see what exactly we are going to do here with this. And at the end of this 2014, your sales was really high. It was actually, you ended it with a positive note. Now you want to show us your waterfall chart, and you want to show the numbers, how they are actually going up or down in a sequence, right? If you don't know the concept of the waterfall charts, please watch my last video, as I shared with you, and you'll get actually a good amount of explanation what all it goes behind, making the waterfall charts. So waterfall charts is nothing but, it is all about doing the manipulations and doing some changes and making them your data, rearranged in a way that your chart can actually consider what exactly it has to do. Because normally when you make the charts, your charts, we don't have any system in the Excel which can give us the direct waterfall charts. So that's why we have to do a couple of adjustments. So couple of adjustments in data points, and you will be through with that. Let's see how. So it works on the cumulative process. So when you start with the 500, let me just say that that's my 500. Now if you want to see that what was the jump you made in 2001, so what you'll actually do is you'll simply plus this sign, right? So you do the cumulative sum of all these numbers, right? And I plus this, so obviously it will go down because I have the business here which gone down, and then again, and so on. So let me quickly just drag this. All right, so let me just quickly fix this, and let's go till here. So at the end of the day, what happens is that you actually ended up your business in 2014 2200, which was on the positive note. So my end point would be for the coming 2015, it is going to be this value. So the point which you are actually trying to make is we want to see a kind of a hump, right, in your business, how it is going, whether it is going up or it is going down, as compared to the previous value. So that's exactly is what we are actually going to do in this waterfall chart. So in order to prepare the waterfall chart, now you might be wondering that why can't we use a simple column chart, right? So guys, let me just say here cumulative, so that you can understand what exactly it means. And let's just we just delete this. All right, and now we have to prepare a chart. Before we actually get on the data points, I want to show you that if you simply go ahead and create a chart, let's say you want to create a chart and you decide on this chart, and you go to the select data, and over here you give this let's say a range of this, and maybe this point you select this sales. Now you see that you actually get a very weird kind of a chart. It will actually go in the negative direction, and this is what exactly you don't want to show. You want to show something like this. I'll tell you how. Maybe you would like to say that your chart is, let's say, starting from here, and then it is going up again by some margin, and then it is again going up by some margin, and then it is at the same level, and then it is little going down, and then it is again going down, and then again it is like taking a huge jump, and then again it is going up, and then it is reaching at the top, and then it is actually falling down like this, and then from here it is again taking some jumps, and that's the end point for you. So started your business from here, and seeing these ups and downs, you actually come to know that what exactly is happening, right? So that is actually going to be a very beautiful way of representing your data, and I'm sure your boss can would rule over you if he actually sees something like this, right? So let's prepare the chart, and I'm not going to talk much about how it is going to be designed on the data points, because as I said, please watch the previous video. I have given a very good amount of description, very detailed manner. I have discussed what exactly is your data points, how do you judge these waterfall charts, and how do you assume that what exactly all the numbers are to be. So we'll start with this. So I'll say that we have a here, let's say, up, and we have a here down, right, for these up and down, and the cumulative number, I'll just say that actual maybe I'll say the cumulative numbers. This is not something which I'm going to use in my charts, but this is very important from the perspective that I need to create a chart. So I'll simply drag this down. I refer this with this, and now as I was telling you that there has to be some endpoint as well for the business, and this is where we'll write this end. And obviously you would like to start this business from somewhere, so you'll write here start, and then over here I'll write it base. Some people even prefer to use it the invisible chart, column chart, right? But I'll just say it start. I'll tell you what exactly it is going to do, right? So I beg your pardon, this is going to be base. Now let me just refer these here over here, and that's it. And whatever the value we'll get here in the last 2014, which is this, it should be used here, right? Which is 2200 as of now. And starting point, of course, to start the business, before we start this business from the very first Jan 2001, I want to say that we started actually with the previous year output as 500, right? So I'll simply say 500, which is this output actually, right? Now what exactly we want to do is, see, we don't want this data to be shown in the inverse direction, in the negative direction, as I was just I have shown you a graph, which actually can be made in the inverse direction as well, but that's not the way we want to do. So we will actually like to keep all the numbers positive. That's the first thing. So what I'll do is, I'll say that over here in my this up, right, this is all right, so this is going to be 0 because I don't have anything over here. That's the starting point for me, right? So this is going to be my base, which is going to be 0 as of now. Alright, so in 2001 what I'll say is, let me just quickly structure this. This is more of a structuring of a data which we are doing. Rest, everything is so easy in the waterfall chart. So it's the main ingredient is actually preparing a good data, right? Logical data. So I'm going to say is that in my this 2001, if I see that my this number is positive, which is my sale, then I would say that it should be returned here. So we'll say that if this is going to be greater than or equals to 0, then I should get this number, right? Otherwise I'll get 0, right? So I'll get the up over here because business was in the positive. And now if I say that if this is going to be less than 0, then I should get this number and otherwise 0. Okay, and if I drag this formula down, you'll see that what exactly is happening, right? So you'll get all the negative numbers over here and you'll get the 0 here from this data point. Please watch this number, this is very important, right? I'm just doing the comparison. Negative number would fall into this category down and the up would fall into this positive category. Now since I can't use this negative number in my waterfall chart, so I'll simply say that give me the absolute value for this, which is actually going to make it a positive number, right? ABS is a function which is going to convert it into positive number, right? Because we need this for our chart. So we have a bifurcation that the business got up in 2001 by 1000, and over here it got up by 2000, and over here it actually went by 400, and then again it went 200, and then 500, and so on, right? So this is the data point which we have prepared, and in order to show up the start and the end in my chart, because in this x-axis I'm going to write here start again, and over here I'll write here end, right? So that's the kind of chart which I have prepared. And now what we need to do is now maybe before I actually start telling you what exactly the logic you're going to use, why don't we prepare a chart and let's see what exactly is happening here, right? And before we do that, I just want to tell you that this base is very important for you. This base is actually going to do all the trick. This is going to form the base. This is going to exactly start your this position from the very last value. So it is going to act as a equal, kind of a equilibrium, right? So let me prepare a chart for you, and then maybe you'll get the good amount of understanding. So let's go ahead and let's go to this chart. I'll use this chart. All right, this is a chart which we are actually going to use, stacked column. I'll press OK. Now that's my chart over here, and I'll definitely like to give a width. Oh, that's more than the requirement, so that's fine. Alright, now let's select the data and let's see what exactly it is going to give us, right? So I'm going to select this table from here till here. I will not use the cumulative numbers because cumulative numbers are not going to be used. We'll actually put those cumulative numbers over here. So I'll just press OK. Alright, now guys, you can see here that this start, if I select on this start, this is an independent. Normally when I select this single item, all the numbers, all the items which are related to to these years, they are actually selected. So that's the point, that if I create this separately, like over here start, then I can choose their color separately, and if I click here, then this will be selected separately. So maybe end point and the start point we can actually give a different color. Let's say maybe something like this, this one, and that's our starting point and end point. So right, and let's remove these grid lines. Let me just click on these grid lines. Alright, now everything is already set up. Now what we actually want to do, just pay attention to this 2001. So ideally what you want to do is, you started your business from 500, right, and you want to see a jump on the 500, the next very value. So ideally you need to divide this in this 2001 in two parts. That's the trick, because the first trick would say that it is actually going to be divided into the 500, and then thereafter it will show you the jump of 1000, and that's why you actually create this kind of a base. Now right now, as you can see here, this is more of a like a simple chart. You see it everything from the very base, it's starting from the end. But what if I divide this entire this 1000, if I convert this back into, let's say 500 plus 1000, right? So obviously this 1000 which I'm showing, this should be lifted above this, something like this, and then I can make this the below portion as a invisible, right? I can make it invisible. Let me show you what exactly I mean. So over here in 2001, what I need to do is, if my business is up, if it is going up, then obviously I want that this value to be selected, which is this. Okay, now you can see here, the moment I said base as 500, which means that the very first this number, which was this start, it has actually divided this into 500 and 1000. So if I'm going to make this invisible, like this, you see that this is exactly showing what exactly I'm looking forward to, right? So this is, from here I have actually gone up, right? So that's the technique which we are actually going to use here. But then we'll have to fill all these base, these numbers, and this base will need to ensure that this base would have a number which exactly was the previous number. Now in this case, it has started from the 500, so I'm going to write here 500, right? Similarly, when you come here, you know that the next item would be a 1500, which is this. So obviously you would want to build your chart above 1500, right? So that's why what exactly you're going to do is, you're simply going to refer this cell with this, right? So now eventually what would happen is, we are going to make these both blue ones invisible, and your chart will start appearing like this. It will start moving like in the upward direction. Now as long as this is a positive number, it is fine. But what if you have this down business? Obviously down means you need to actually show it falling down in the lower direction. So then what exactly you want to do is, you want to actually this minus this. Alright, so what will happen is, eventually you'll get this 1800 and 400, which exactly will make it what? It is actually going to make this the entire 2200, which would be the division of this previous the chart, right? So let's do one thing. So the point what exactly you need to remember is, if your business is going up, you simply have to use the previous cumulative number, right? And if your business is showing down number, it is not a up, right? Then you need to subtract this and this, and your chart will ultimately be set up. So let me just put this formula here, because we can't write this manually. It's gonna be taking a lot of time. So if this number is, let's say I would say that this is not equals to maybe what else, if this is not equals to, okay, so let's do one thing. Instead of 0, try to put space. Okay, I'll tell you why. I think then it will be easy for us to give the condition, because then we can say that if the cell is blank, then go for the up position, and the cell is blank, then go for the down position according to the condition. So now what we are actually going to do is, if my this cell which is up, it is not equals to blank, and when it is not going to be blank, obviously when your business is actually jumping up, right? and then only you will get this number. So if it is not going to be space, then obviously I want that this number should be you know, this number should be summed up with this number. Otherwise what should happen? Otherwise this number should be subtracted from this down. Please pay attention to this. Now right now I'm selecting this. So what I'm saying is, if the business doesn't do well, if it is a negative direction, then you need to subtract, you know, this down, this value from the upper one, from here like this, you know. And if it is not the case, if it is going up, then simply get this number here, okay, by adding this up to it. So that's why I have got here 500 plus 1000, which is 1500, right? And so now the base is going to be my 1500, and I beg your pardon, this is not a 1500, because then this will start from the 500. We want to start it from the previous position, which is 500. So this is going to be this one, K2, right? So that this 1000 plus 500 can make this cumulative, which is exactly 1500, right? So let us try to drag this here. Now you can see here this 1500 plus 1700 is making 2200, and I'm getting exactly, you know, in 2002 I'm getting this position, you know, same. If you see this carefully, over here I have a 15500, which is my starting, and over here just above this 500 I have built up this 1000 gain, right, which is this 500 the base and 1000 as a gain. And this base is going to be, now we'll make it no color and we'll make it invisible. Now over here what happens, now the business ended here 1500, and this base has now again, you know, taken its place. It is equivalent to this, which is this 1500, and above 1500 what exactly is my gain that I have shown here by, you know, getting this number up by 700. So that's what exactly I'm going to do. And now if I drag this down, then you see here that this time around now it has actually, what it did, it has bifurcated this 2200 into two parts, 1800 and 400, which means that the moment I'm going to, you know, show this invisible, I will get this kind of a downfall, and I'll make this red color, right? So that's it for now, and let us now drag this, and we are just 2-3 steps away, and this is how you'll get your this number. Last number check, 1200 plus 1000 makes it 2200, and this is how you actually get your, you know, chart. Now the very important thing, just select this, which is this base. As you can see here, we don't need this base, and we'll make this no fill, right? Once you make this no fill, you see that the trending, it is going like this, which is perfect. Now all these green ones, you know, they are the up positions. For this blue ones, what I need to do is I should actually give them a color red, so that, you know, it makes more sense to me that they are going actually down, right? Now what else you can do, and maybe, you know, we can change this start color. We can make it little, you know, maybe a kind of this color, and or maybe you can choose even, you know, this kind of a green color. I think that would be nice, right? And alright, so we are through with this. Just select any of this and right click it. Now we would like to merge them. We would like to decrease the width of them, you know, increasing the width, but the gap would be now lesser than, you know, what exactly it is showing right away. And that's the way, you know, the waterfall charts are drawn. So I'll just decrease this. As you can see that the gap is reducing, so we are getting good position here. And you can make it, generally people make it like 10%, 20%, but I would like to make it 0%, right? And then I'll close this. And so this is how your waterfall chart is created, and you really don't need these numbers, right? Because everything is available over here. So that's a beautiful chart, you know, it looks amazing, isn't it? So guys, that's the technique, you know. If you still haven't got it, just watch this video again. But yes, watch the previous video, you know, the part 1 of this video. You'll get exactly a very good amount of understanding, because there I have actually talked in a detailed manner about, you know, when you actually design the waterfall chart, what exactly you do. So basically you always talk about the positive and the negative points, and you take the cumulative numbers into consideration, right? So if I'm not gonna take these cumulative numbers, then obviously I will not be break them. I will these as you see here, that we take the cumulative numbers, and when then we actually break them, right? The moment it is going to break into these pieces, we apply a chart which is called this chart, this one chart, not the column chart, not the clustered column, but either you can apply the stat column, or maybe you can apply the 100% stat column, right? Because it actually gives you the percentage, right? In order to explain you this, maybe I can show you this example. Let's say in sheet 2, if I write here, let's say name A, B and C, and if I write here, let's say the scores in maths, let's say 20 and 30 and let's say 10, right? And over here I have this science as a subject, and I write here 25, 22 and maybe 15, right? Now if I'm going to create this chart the way we actually have created, let's say Alt IH, and I'm gonna click on this chart, and I'll select the data now, and so in my data what I'll do is I'll select, let's say, this, and I'll press OK, and now you can see here that this chart is actually telling me what? This chart is telling me the proportionate, right? The division. If I would have make a different kind of a chart, for example something like this column chart, and I would have pressed OK and then selected the data, and use this kind of a chart and press OK, then you can see here that there is a lot of difference between both the charts, right? This chart is actually more of a telling the what is the proportion of each element, how they are actually contributing to the entire the numbers, but this is more of a different values, right? So that's why you would not like to use these numbers, because if it is through this chart that you can create this kind of a technique, that you can make these points unhighlighted, which is going to act as a base, and this is what exactly then it will actually tell you that where it is going up and where it is going down. Now in this scenario, if I talk about in this A, why if I unhighlight, if I make this invisible, you see that this is not exactly the waterfall chart, because the waterfall chart always starts from the previous position, so ideally it should have started from here, right? And that's why we created this kind of a table over here, that this 500 plus 1000 would always be equal to this 1500, and this 1500 plus 700 would always be equal to this 2200. And that's why what we are actually doing is initially when we are starting with the 500, the very next time this base is taking that value from it, and it is again going to start from here 500, and when it is ending here 1500, again it is going to start from the 1500, which is here. For now guys, I'll come up with some more videos on the charts, and till then, take care of yourself, and please do subscribe to my channel. In case if you like the video, just like the video, and let me write in case if you have any questions regarding Excel VBA or maybe MS Access database. I will try to upload the video for you, and will try to share the information with you. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye bye.